Part of the Tiwanaku complex located in western Bolivia, the ruins of Pumapunku are the oldest and most baffling on the face of the earth. Some experts believe it was created around 500 BCE, while others place it 12 to 17,000 years ago. But the exact age of the ancient site is still being debated. The Incas who inhabited the region in 1470 considered Pumapunku a holy site and believed it was the place where all life was created. The construction and masonry of the walls at the site are considered an engineering mystery, since there are no known tools or techniques that existed during any of these periods. The site features a complex of sophisticated interlocking stone blocks, with the largest block measuring 26 feet long, 17 feet wide, 3.5 feet thick, and weighing around 131 tons. The stones also fit together so precisely there isn't enough space for a razor blade to fit between them. This suggests that the Incas possibly knew of prefabrication and mass production technologies far in advance of their successors hundreds of years later. Some of the stone retaining walls at Pumapunku were also precision cut in edge shapes, and many stones have holes drilled to perfection. Due to their size, the method by which the stone blocks were transported to Pumapunku has been another topic of interest. Chemical analysis revealed the larger red sandstone blocks were transported up a steep incline from a quarry near Lake Titicaca, roughly 10 kilometers away. The smaller andesite blocks that were used for stone facing and carvings came from quarries within the Copacabana Peninsula, about 90 kilometers away from across Lake Titicaca. The tools and means to transport all those stones to the site still remain a mystery. So, to date, no one knows who designed and built Pumapunku, and the mystery has continued to mystify archaeologists around the world. Between 1485 and 1551, England suffered 5 outbreaks of a disease so virulent that it could kill an otherwise healthy person in a matter of hours. The disease seemed to mostly affect wealthy adult males, with children and elderly people generally spared, while the aristocracy, members of professional classes, and the clergy seemed particularly vulnerable. The epidemics were short-lived but brutal, and except in one epidemic, the disease appears to have attacked only people native to England. Symptoms of the disease came on quickly and came with a sudden great sweating followed by cold shivers, severe pain in the neck, shoulders and limbs, the redness of the face and of all the body along with fever, headaches and delirium. As many as half of those affected died within 18 hours, and anyone who made it through the first day would probably recover, but there was always a chance of reinfection. Whatever the disease was, it vanished as mysteriously as it appeared. The last outbreak was in 1551, and apart from some potential minor appearances in the following decades, it hasn't been seen since. Though a similar affliction known as the Picardy sweat popped up in France a century and a half later, causing nearly 200 small outbreaks before it too disappeared in 1861. Many theories have been speculated over the centuries on what the sickness could have been. It's been suggested that the sickness could have been a strain of typhus or influenza or even anthrax. A more likely answer emerged in 1993 when a similar outbreak occurred in the American Southwest. This disease was caused by a hantavirus, leading researchers to speculate that a hantavirus was also behind the English sweating sickness and the Picardy sweat. Since hantaviruses can spread by rodents, this could explain why large households and academic institutions were hit so hard by the disease. Well-stocked kitchens and pantries would have attracted mice and rats, and household staff could have aerosolized the viruses in their droppings while sweeping. While this might be the best possible explanation for the disease, a conclusive answer will probably never come. The aluminum wedge of Iude is one of the most mysterious and controversial objects ever found. According to some articles, it was found in 1973 in a riverbank in Iude, Romania, under 35 feet of sand alongside some mastodon bones. Based on it being found in the same layer as the mastodon bones, the wedge is thought to be at least 11,000 years old, if not millions. The reason why the wedge is unique is that it's almost 90% metallic aluminum, a material that was not known to mankind up until the 1800s. Production of aluminum requires heat of at least 1000 degrees, and the metal was found in 1808 and the mass production began in 1885. Those who have examined the out-of-place artifact claim it is not a natural formation, leading some to believe that the wedge has an alien origin. There are also scientists that believe that the item is just a lost excavator tooth, and there are archaeologists who believe the wedge was made on Earth, but the purpose hasn't been identified yet. With a limited amount of information about the wedge, the origin and the antiquity of the object is unclear. The Library of Alexandria was one of the largest and most significant libraries of the ancient world. It was part of a larger research institute at Alexandria in Egypt called Mauzion. While most other libraries at the time were regional, the Library of Alexandria aimed to be a universal one, having knowledge from all over the world. Partly because of the library, Alexandria came to be regarded as the capital of knowledge and learning, as many important and influential scholars used to work there during the 2nd and 3rd centuries BC. Various sources estimate different number of books in the library. The number ranges from 200 to 400,000, but we will probably never know how big the library's collection was, nor what treasures and knowledge it contained, as it was destroyed partly by fire in 48 BC and later due to war and other crises. All we know about it is from written records, as there are no archaeological remains of it. Historians suggest that the library had the largest collection of manuscripts on law, poetry, history, medicine, mathematics, natural science, etc., and included works by people like Plato, Aristotle, Homer, Herodotus, and others that could have told us so much about how people saw the ancient world. But it all perished with the Great Library, and the loss is considered one of the greatest cultural tragedies in history.